We're live, guys.
We're live.
We're live. All righty, let's do it. Malolele, welcome everybody to the very first Brutal Lives cast Q&A. My name is Sandra Kailahi. I'm the producer, co-writer and co-creator of Brutal Lives. And joining me, we have the cast from Brutal Lives, the first Tongan bilingual drama web series funded by New Zealand On Air. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to ask everyone if they could introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what character you play. So I'm going to start with the director, Vela Manasote. Over to you, Vela.
Yeah, malo, whakalawhalahia to talofa and kia ora. Warm Pacific greeting. Vela Manasote is my name. The co-writer, the director, the tamawhekau of the Brutal Lives. Yeah, I'm very tall. I'm I am Niuean, born in Niue. Also, my father Samoan. I grew up with a lot of my Tongan friends who I'm still close to. Yep, that's about me.
Awesome, thank you, Vela. But you know, when you said that you used to run with the Tongans, what does that mean?
I used to run at the back. Yeah, Jason, I was at the run at the TAB with the Tongans. No, I'm just when we came from Niue, we stopped in Tonga because we got some church family in Tonga, and then I grew up with the Tongan family, the Fulalo in Dickens Street, and then when you know the old Shiasi, the old church up the road in Richmond Road. That's where the church we used to go and do the cleaning after Shiasi, so we used to go there. And then when I moved to when we moved to Oraki, there's a close family there, the Waikona family from Mofanga. So I grew up with those guys, and I'm always been around, you know, running at the back with the Tongans when we go play rugby and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's you know, it's only later on the years I just then I embraced my Samoan side because of my father. So it was yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful. I guess what do you call it? When it kind of come all together, especially you know working on something like this. As you know, my fun is this anyway. That's my kind of like. And I went to Tonga with Cecilia's family, John. We took a wonderful Lome Bell CD that we took to La Paja. And I'll tell you what, man, that was an amazing experience. I was I just want to tell you guys the story. It's a quick one because that was my first time in Tonga, and we went to La Paja. But before we can get the CD out, we had to get the blessing from the Kalani Walu, the late Kalani Walu, and you know everybody was there, and the boys sung some songs, but Kalani Walu kept looking at me because I was sitting right at the back. But he kept looking at me, and after you know the song and everything else done, he asked one of the boys, "Oh, this is that guy? Is he a comedian?" And they turned to me and goes, are you a comedian? I said, yeah, I used to do a little bit of comedy. And then he said, then Klein Waller goes, did he used to make fun of the Tongans? I was going, oh. And he goes, no. He said to me, he loved my jokes, but it's like, woo. Yeah. Anyway, that's all.
Anyway,
I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah,
and,
thanks. We've only got a little bit of time, but
Sure,
thank you, Bella, for sharing that.
I thought I kicked the night away.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
Jason,
okay.
let's start with you.
Oh, malole everyone. My name is Jason Manmua, and I hail from Mangle Bridge here in South Auckland, and proud of my neighborhood.
Your
I play
villages?
villages. In Tonga, my parents' mum is from Kanukupolu on the main island, Tongatapu, and dad is from Navutoka. So undoubtedly, you've seen the web series, and my dad's village, Navutoka, is actually one of very few villages, and they were tasked, it was their responsibility to fish for sharks. And so they dealt with sharks a lot in its history. And so this story, Brutal Lives, I have a sort of connect to my heart a little bit because of the mythology and stuff behind it. So yeah, I thought that was quite special, and I quite enjoyed knowing that.
Now you tell us.
You really cast me as the father. I couldn't be the shark as well. But yeah, I play Salesi obviously in the web series, which I kind of enjoyed because you don't really see him, and I think I like that aspect until the end. And I've had conversations with some of my friends and family about, why wasn't I just not seen at all? Like, they enjoyed the reflections and the blurriness, and I actually enjoyed it too. But I said to him, hey, yeah. So some people are like, we actually liked it when we couldn't see you.
Thank you, family and friends. Thank you.
So yeah, but yeah, so proud to be part of the project and love fellow cast members, and obviously big ups to Vela and Sandra for the stories. So yeah, let's go season 2.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We'll try and talk about that a little bit later. But Marlo, Jason, thank you. Sane.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eli Sane Vaipulu Green. I'm from Otara 274, born and raised here. My parents, here we go, tell us shirt.
Let's go.
My parents are both from Tonga, from Ha'apai. My dad is from Lofanga, and my mom is from Tungua. And I play the role of Lupe in Brutal Lives. Yeah.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought there was something else coming back.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
Marlo Sani, that's awesome.
Marlo.
Io. Isaiah.
Yeah, that's Isaiah.
Today, Isaiah, yeah, that would be good.
And your volume's not working.
He's actually playing online.
Okay, let's what
On hold.
What happened? You were all sorted. While you're sorting, yeah, can you hear you? Talk. Okay, waiting. Okay, we'll go to Pate. We'll go to Albert. We'll come back to you, Isaiah. Pate.
Okay, malo Sandro. Malo today. Go hinga go aripate rounds. Hey Muli, but I'm just using the rounds. I come my mum from Kolomotua, Hifo and Fiji. My mum's dad is the rounds come from Fiji, and my dad from Kolomotua, Labaha, Niofo'o and Hawaii. So that's my dad's side, and I played the Talawhekau, the messenger on Brutal Lives. At the moment, we're staying in Mount Roskill, but we grew up in Mount Albert, Sandringham. But yeah, my wife and I, we settle in Mount Albert, Mount Roskill at the moment. Yeah, so I enjoy every bit when I was working with you guys right from pre-production right until the end on Brutal Lives, and we're hoping that we get more funding for second season, or yeah, maybe even a feature movie. That would be great. Malo a bit.
Io, malo, malo.
Nice.
Okay, let's go to Hans.
Whakaaro palai atu, malo
Yeah, please.
Hey! My name is Hans Fawe Jackson. I'm from Niue. I'm from the villages of Hakupu, Alofi, and Mutarau. And which is from my mother's side, and from my dad's side, I come from the villages of Maupanga and Taonga and Vapu from Tonga. This is actually my first Tongan story that I've ever been in. I've been doing a lot of Niuean stuff, Niuean theatre shows, Niuean films. It's been cool to fly that flag, but it feels much better to have a story to tell from my Tongan side as well. Something to take home from my Tongan side, something for my dad can look at it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, malo. But yes, a lot of the family love it, a lot of my friends love it, and they're looking forward to season 2. Let's go.
Io,
Nice.
malo, whakawelahi. Thank you, Hans. Isaiah.
Samuela.
Unmute.
Unmute though
Yeah.
first, Isaiah.
Say it better, Samuela.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you guys this is what happened on film set. Anyone seen us here? This was, I said,
Are you there? Are you there, Isaiah? No, can't hear you. Okay, we're going to come back to you. Yeah, do the sign language in the Tongan. I think the Dalafikau might be here with us. Let's see. Irene.
Malalei, everyone. My name is Ailini Manua Alatini. I stay in Papakura. My mom's from Ma'ofanga and my dad's from Kanokupolu. I married a guy named John Alatini from Kolovai, and we have 3 kids. And yeah, I don't know. And then I played the healer, which is the Faito'o. And this is my first screening. So thank you, Vela. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you, team. That's it from me.
Malo.
That's my dog.
I was going to say last but not least, but I don't know if that's Isaiah. But while we're waiting for that, Cecilia, please.
Malo Lily, my name is Cecilia Pusiaki. I just realized I've logged into my daughter's school account and it says Fetongi.
Thanks for that.
Cecilia Pusiaki, born in New Zealand, raised in the North Shore, currently now living in Onehanga with my family, my partner, and our 5 kids. And I play the
5?
You heard that? Children. And I play the character of Offa, and she is
the queen.
Yeah,
queen. The sister of Sane and the daughter of Jason. So, yes.
Malo. Isaiah, are you with us?
Hear me now?
Hey! Oh,
What made you laugh?
That's all the time we have for today. I'm just gonna wrap it up. Malole, my name is Isaiah Latu. My mom comes from Fatai Tongatapu. My dad comes from Pugatala Ha'ono, Hawaii. And I was born and raised in Mount Wellington. Now currently residing in Mangere, 275, yo. And I played a character, Ben, the most un-Tongan name ever, Ben. But yeah.
Benny.
So that was the first thing my mom asked me about, was like, there's Tomasi, there's Lupe, and then you have Ben. But
oh, I love her. That's awesome. That's so true. And just from me, my father is from Golonga and Tongatapu, but my grandfather is from the Gutenberg family from Neafu and Vava'u. And my mum is Palangi Kiwi, born in Warkworth. So,
Warkworth. I didn't know that.
What?
I didn't know that.
Well, there you go. I'm telling you now. So that's us. Hey, family, thank you so much for joining us. We've got lots of people watching us and sending lots of love our way. So if you have a question that you would like to put to any of the cast members, and even Bella, you just send them through to us and we will put them to the cast. But I thought we'd just start off with a little bit, Bella, before we get into some questions, just a little bit of the history to Brutal Lives, and then just, you know, what went into getting it, because it was a 2-year project to get to where we are and having our first series. But tell us a little bit about the inspiration, because boxing features so strongly in the series. What was the motivation or the inspiration for that from you?
Malo. All started with our short film, the Messiah, which is Sandra, the producer from it. And after that project is, you know, we had a good working relationship. We wanted to make something, give us a bit more challenge to it. So I came up with this idea about a fallen fighter, a boxer, because I believe that boxing is in my blood in terms of my father, my village. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of my, you know, a lot of fighting with my father, who used to, you know, back in the village today, there's no boxing gloves. They used to wrap up T-shirts or towels. They used to fight a lot, and that's how I kind of brought up. And I wanted to bring some of those stories, a tribute to Pacific fighters, you know, like Kitione Lave, you know, all those the boxers that have been before. I'm always fascinated about that kind of energy or that kind of story. So myself and Sandra were talking about it, and this story was actually written, and I say it, for Niueans Samoans, and you know, Sandra kind of bullied me because he's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Brutal Lives.
Yeah. to you know, to consider to make this a Tongan story. And for a second, I didn't think there was enough, and that's me being honest, enough Tongan actors, even though I work with most of you guys except Sonic, you know. And anyway, yeah, it's a 2-year process to get this off the ground, get this rolling, but it was a collaboration between myself in the beginning with Sandra, then all of these beautiful people start popping up and appearing. You know, I work with Albert for back in probably the late 80s. You know, he comes to the picture. I work with most of you wonderful people. Discovered the fight tour as a drama school teacher, and it's just been that this whole village, this whole thing. It's a collaboration, and I'm sure you can talk to more about it, Sandra, about how this whole thing kind of went, you know, page after stage after page, and how we got this far. And for me, I'm just so happy because we managed to get this not only over the line, but also serve the purpose of the story, give each one of you and myself and all of us an opportunity to have a shot at this visual storytelling. And I think we did an incredible job. And there were many hands too. Remember, it's just not all of us beautiful faces here. There were many hands behind the scenes who keep pushing us to get this across to make this. So now all you wonderful people.
Yeah.
Because the people are saying to me, my gosh, the acting, the production value, wow. But you know what, guys? And this is just me. If you give us an opportunity, and I believe my strength is working with all you wonderful people, and you give a chance for the camera just to capture this beautiful moment. It's like when I saw what I saw, I knew we are. The word is not winning. I knew we got something special, something. You know what I mean? Something special. You know that, Sani. You know something. We got something. We got something that we can be proud of, right?
Yeah.
So that anyway. So that's,
thank you. I did realize we only had a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Thank you for that answer. I really, really love that answer, Bella.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Get the first AD on. Let's go.
Let's roll. But following on from you, Bella, I wanted to also talk a little bit about the inspiration, because a lot of people have said to me, oh my gosh, Sane is so angry. Why is she so angry? Lupe is so angry in that. And, you know, the dynamics, the relationships, you know, what's going on. And I know that you and I looked at our relationships that we have had with our fathers growing up, and drew on some of those experiences to incorporate into this, into the series, that, you know, not all family dynamics are perfect.
Yeah.
And sometimes the relationships between characters and people in the family doesn't always go well. So that's where we drew on some of the inspiration. And the other question I got asked was, I didn't know that was the legend from Hahake. When the Whaito'o was telling us about what happened with the family and the shark's draw. And so, I mean, that is actually drawn from inspiration from a real legend of Hina and Sinilau, and you know, the lovers and from the east. And when they were by the beach, and Sinilau jumped into the water and was showing off in front of Hina, and then started to get into trouble and called out to Hina to come and help him. But by the time that she got there, he drowned, and then she turned into a shark to protect the waters and search and, you know, keep that protected. So we just drew on that inspiration for the legend, and took our own creative license with it. But what was really important, I think, Bella, was that we got to tell our stories, right? We incorporated aspects of it into the actual to the series. So that's a little bit of the history, and we can keep talking about it. But Jason, I got a question for you. It's from Leon Hemara, and Leon says, how does an actor like yourself play an older character? How do you prepare for something like that? Oh, good question.
He's talented.
Damn. Typical island response. Thank you for that question.
Nice pageant.
Shout Leon. Yeah, I think, to be honest, yeah, I think going into it, I think that was probably my biggest obstacle and challenge to do, was to join that. And obviously, you go to drama school and you learn stuff, and then you come away and you do other things. And so, you know, and that helps. But a lot of it was probably just, I just took it a lot on just my own experience and observation of outer people in my circles and my life growing up. And so, so yeah, I just sort of thought, you know, dignified, real slow, strong and grounded kind of energy. But I think the biggest thing for me was I think there were moments where I kind of was, I sort of lost my train of thought, because I started to worry a little bit that the makeup didn't work enough for me, or whether I would look old enough, or so. But it's, I think, yeah, the words, what everyone have said so far, people that have commented have said that, yeah, it was great, that they really enjoyed it, they really loved the work. But, you know, I think as an actor, you're always constantly your own worst critic. So I had that little voice in the back of my head. So, but ultimately, yeah, I've just drawn from a lot of personal experience. Probably watching the director Vela, you know, really in his seat directing, was really, you know, drawing on that, you know, real strong, silent, and, you know, just exuding a lot of power. Maybe just a look or a glance. That's all it took.
Can I just say something with Jason? Jace, I thought the way you held the camera, the way all those photos, if you've seen it, it's the regalness you held the character without the makeup. You take the makeup away, as I think it's the offer, it's the love you had for the character. And I don't know whether you dropped your voice a little bit down octave. It's just have that beautifulness resonate to your voice. I think, bro, it's more than that. And we worked before, but I couldn't see you the first time we worked with. But I just thought the way you held the character, the dignified, the whole character, because you're not only representing yourself, but you saw the whole generation of Tongans those that came before us. I think so anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd put that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, shot, yeah. Yeah, Leon, everything the director said.
But I just want to say too, Jace, I just want to echo what Bella said. You were brilliant. And just that scene, because when we originally shot the pilot, right, guys, and then we used that to try and get funding for the first series. And when we did the trailer, you were in that first trailer. And, you know, so just the way that you said, everybody has problems, you know, everything is hard. Just always stuck with me, and you're just fantastic. So I just wanted to just echo that as well. Hey, we've got a comment here. It says, what made this film more appealing is that it's more available for the whole New Zealand in general, which made it more appealing. And I really think that is true. What did you think about that, you know, in terms of it being accessible? You don't have to be Tongan to enjoy this, right? You, Pacific, mainstream, whatever ethnicity. Because the themes are about love, family, relationships. Anybody want to jump into that? Why, you know, you think it is so appealing for everybody?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just jump in since I just finished talking. Yeah, I definitely love the fact that we released online because of that. And then I knew that people that were related and friends that are beyond our shores could even, you know, log on, because, you know, previous to that, we're just sort of stuck in our own little population here. And then even then it's hard to get on like TVNZ and stuff like that. But for, you know, a minority culture to be able to put its voice on this kind of platform, I think that's amazing. And it means that we can do more work and we can speak further, louder and further than what we have been in the past. So.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's so good. Hey, question for you, Cecilia. Arthur is my favorite character. Question: did you have to draw on experiences from other strong women in your life for your character?
Absolutely. I think you know, the best character to play for a Tongan actor is to play a Tongan, because they're so close to you. You don't have to pretend to be somebody else, and you don't have to try and learn another rhythm or style of language, or you know what I mean. And so this for me was absolutely perfect, because you know, everybody has an auntie, everybody has you know, a mother figure that you know of in your family. And just like Jason said, it's using the experiences that we have around us, but it's even more perfect when it's in your own language and in your own culture, where you're able just to sit into it, which is, you know, for me, being in drama, performing arts school at Pipa, you know, I was always like, man, I hope when I graduate there'll be enough stories out there, Tongan stories out there for me to be a part of, because you played other people, other cultures and other languages. And so to be a part of Brutal Lives was just, like you said, an opportunity, but also a dream. So thank you for giving us all that opportunity. And hopefully everybody who's been watching Brutal Lives and the attraction that we're getting from it will allow us to put more work out there and create more stories for us to continue doing.
Definitely. Thank you, Johnson, for that question. I've had lots of people say to me that they loved you in the series. Just the eyes, just the little nuances, and what you brought was beautiful. In fact, I remember when we first did the pilot, I remember you gave this look and I went, oh, that's my grandmother. That's my grandmother right there. And I just thought it was amazing. Hey, Bella, she was just fantastic.
Yeah, she was, the look was for you, son. But also on I think on a deeper level, Cecilia, I worked with you a few times, and I also think it's from your village, Lapaha, where the flavor come from, your heritage, who you are, your father. You're carrying your story forward. There was no, Sandra's right. When you walk on stage, or where you carry that mana, which is, you can't teach it at drum school. You know what I mean? You can't teach it. Being a Tongan and, you know, like embracing who you are. who you are as your heritage. You're representing that, and that come through the screen. Definitely right. She doesn't have to say much. We just knew that she will, you know, hold the fort together.
Yeah.
So
we're blessed.
Blessed.
Very, very blessed. Very, very blessed. Got a question for you, Pate, our talawhekau. This is from Maria Vai, who, of course, we all know.
Terrific.
Shot Maria.
Shot Maria. She was
Shot
our
Maria.
third
She's a real
AD. We miss
talawhekau.
you, Maria. Pate, your character had such an evil presence in the story. How did you offset, unwind, or strip off that character as a Tongan actor?
You mean like afterwards, or?
Yeah, I think afterwards. How did you kind of, because it was such intense. I remember you were really involved, and you really put everything into this. And then after some of those scenes, which are full on, how did you kind of unwind or take that off?
I suppose I was, with my background, like I said, I come from a martial art background, and then the martial art, it's once you finish what you're supposed to be doing, you clear everything, and then you're back to being yourself. And then I suppose I kind of based my character on that. Once I finished being on set, I clear out everything as my character, and then I go home and I'm back to normal again as Pate. So yeah, I think that's how I took it on. Just based on my martial art background, I finished my duty. That's it. I leave that there, and I move on as back to Adipate. So yeah, that's how I kind of based.
In this role too, because you know, at the beginning when we first started on day one, we had Papilau or Aotearoa Manase Lua come and give us a blessing. Or just, you know, the set the tone of this, because when we're talking about spirits, say the volo or anything in our way, we have to be respectful of things like that. Were you ever, did that ever impact you, or did you ever think about that in terms of playing this role?
I'm a Christian, and I know I played the Dalfigao as the Devolo, and I suppose being a Christian was kind of easier for me. Just after my day on set, that's it. My character is being taken off, like my costumes, and I'm back to normal. And I suppose being a Christian as well, it didn't really affect me as playing the Dalafigao. My beliefs, I believe in Jesus, and that Dalafigao character, that's only the character when I'm on set. Once I'm off set, I'm back to being a Christian. And I'm just back to normal. So it didn't really affect me as being the devil, and then going home taking the devil with me. And I suppose with my heritage, I'm from La Baja, and I suppose there would have been some of my ancestors with me during the filming, but then once the filming is done, that's it. They get away from me, and I'm clear, and I'm not going back to being the Christian. So yeah, that's how I kind of looked at it. Yeah.
I must admit, there were a couple of times, Bella, when we were some places, and then out of the blue something would drop or something would happen, and we would go,
Dalafigau's here.
Dalafigau's here. Dalafigau's here.
I remember when that little room with the fight door, there was kind of different wind was coming through the door, the curtains, and the camera guys goes, "Oh, you got some French out there?" Yeah, they just with me.
Yeah. Can I just echo on that, Albert? I think it was an important character, but also it takes a strength of an actor, because, you know, from his martial art background, but also he's done Xena and Hercules, and for him to swing their club is not heavy. You know how many takes would it take in that?
It is heavy, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We had two clubs.
We did.
I just want to acknowledge Albert and his energy to be able to carry that, because we on the workshop, Albert says to us, for I won't call it the devil. I'll call it the Talafikau, which is the messenger. He's bringing this on through. He's just doing his job, but he says that he will embrace some of his ancestors to carry this right through.
That's right.
So you know what I mean? And because I've known Albert for a very long time, I know what he can bring as he brought into the Messiah. And I know that as a director, to give him that time. But the next time we should do it, we should have a sign for Albert, like Albert, because sometimes you know, but I think it's to anyone to play this character, a warrior from the past. Albert Roundhay Mo'ui is the rightful energy, the rightful person for it. So I just thought I'd just want to appreciate that.
And I just want to jump into, you were amazing right from the beginning, Pate. You've always been so supportive. Even when we did the pilot, what you brought, we just love having you, and you really played the role of what we needed. So, malo. Yeah. Sane, we got a question for you. I think there's a couple, but I'm going to ask this one. Did there have to be a lot of coaching for the boxing scenes, especially for Lupe? Tell us a little bit about how you prepared for that, because you're not a boxer, right?
No.
Are you sure?
That hook look real.
Was pretty real. Nah. Yeah, I'm not a boxer, but when Vela approached me, I think in the early stages of Brutal Lives, the script writing, he was like, you know, there's this character that I'm thinking of casting you in and just letting you know that she's a boxer. And I'm such a stupid idiot because I left it so long. And even Vela can, you know, he could say yes to that because it's true. Because I had like, what, 2 years? And here I am like, nah, I can do it.
Uh-oh, something's gone wrong, Sani. We can't hear you.
Talafikau.
Go, man, relax.
Yeah, start that one again.
Oh, man.
And cut, restart that shot.
The Talafikau was like, yeah, enough. Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah. So what happened? It was like 2 years and you didn't, and then it was like,
okay, sorry. So, yeah, so I basically had 2 years to, you know, train and refine my technique and form. But I kind of learned the hard way because I didn't listen. And that's probably the biggest regret preparing for Brutal Lives, because I knew I should have did it from the get-go, but here I was, nah, all good, you know. I'm good with movement. I'm a dancer. I'm all this stuff that like I know my body, blah, blah, blah. But when it came down to actually getting the technique and form, I was like two left foot, 2 left hooks. Like I was ammo as a, honestly. And I remember Vela being like, do you know we're like filming like 2 weeks from now? And I'm like, yep. And he was like, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, I'm going to train. In New York, I had to sign up to a boxing gym and I had to do all of that stuff. And I had sparring with my cast members from Wild Dogs. And Vela even told me, he was like, man, you probably need to get like, you know, have a spar and get like jabbed in the face, like, you know, actually get hooked on the face. And I was like, bro, is this guy for real? Like, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see. But I didn't get punched in the face eventually. But one thing I can say, Val, I'm not condoning violence, but I have been in a fist fight. So I do know what it feels like to be punched on the face, on the head. So it doesn't feel great, but I know what it feels like. And so, yeah.
Tara.
Good on you, girl.
Yeah. So, but the boxing training itself was intense. It's like, yeah, I learned my lesson. It's something that you can't just learn overnight. You can't learn in 1 year. You still have boxers who train all their life from young ages till 10 plus years still training. So yeah, it's a technique and form that you're constantly refining and perfecting, I guess.
Yeah.
So your question?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Bella, I know you'll want to jump in here, because if you don't, it'll be a big surprise. But I know, Sani, that you when you were in New York, you were training over there too, and you kind of got approached to maybe be a fighter over there or train.
Yeah, that's a funny thing, because we had boxing classes, and our trainer, he was like training us, obviously, and his trainer came in one session, and this was like this little, for some reason he just reminded me of Bella, this little short like Puerto Rican guy starts walking in like
Bella's tall. Bella's
the
tall.
gym, and he's looking at me, and because Lecky and Pitman will be like, "Oi, that guy is like looking at you," and I'm like, "Oh, he's probably like, shading my form and my technique. He's probably laughing his head off." But for some reason, after our session, he approached my trainer, the guy who took our class, and he goes, "Who's that girl?" And then the trainer goes, "Oh, she's from New Zealand. She's just boxing training. She has like a boxing gig that she kind of has to get in character for." And he goes, "Oh, okay. I like her." He said the thing that stood out to him is the desire. For some reason, he said that the way that I was training or trying to train and pick up technique was that he saw the desire in me. So
I think this one, I was getting videos from America. Bowles and Bowles was sending me videos on her form, but they said that someone had approached her to sign her up, and I said that's for a different film. So she's got to be careful. But what I meant by getting punched in the face is because the actor is pretty, because the actor is conscious of her looks. We need to get over it. She needs to get over it, and in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like when someone slaps you, you kind of get over it. But it was just my process of getting it to the actor. Once you get hit in the face, his elbow, nose in boxing, you kind of respect the other fighter. You respect the process of that. You train for actual fight. You don't train for your nose or your mouth, how it is. But Sani, I thought you amazing. Malo, I just what you brought to the character, and and there's a reflection of myself and also my daughter, how how we are in the space between myself and her. But I just thought amazing. You I don't know, you see it in you. It was hard, as you know, because those take demands that, you know what I mean? Come on, we gotta get there, get where, you know what I mean? But Malo, man, that's so awesome.
You're right, Bella. Sani, you were so fantastic. That just what you brought. When I saw you on the pilot, when we were watching, I went, "Oh my gosh, this girl is so good." The energy, and you really brought the tension to the screen, and some of the the relationships and what we were hoping, and you were fantastic. So I just want to say thank you to you as well. Thank
you.
Yes. Now, we've got lots of questions coming through, guys, but one of the ones, and I want to put it around to everybody, is how did your families react to this? And were you nervous about anything that you did as a character and how your family would react to it? Let's start with you, Isaiah. Oh no.
Oh, it's playing up again.
Come on, Pascal, please, no.
The gamer.
One job.
I think his
so we're coming back to you. Let's start with Hans.
Shucks. One thing that I was probably nervous about was my lea whakatonga.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, I'm fluent in Niuean. So when it did come to my time to say my few lines, which were in Tongan, thank God for Milika, man. Oh my gosh, because Milika would come up and I'll just ask her to say the line. So can you just keep saying Milika? And then I'll just repeat after her and follow the rhythm, and action. Da, 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 boom. And hopefully it worked. So when it did come on TV, I was watching with the family. I was cringing, man. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna, oh man. But they said that it sounded fine. And Milika justified it too. She said because Tomasi is a New Zealand born Tongan, he'd sound like that. So thank you, Malika. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. And we were also, because when Bella and I were watching the thing over and over again, I said, hey, he sounds like he's Niuean. And then, and hey, I don't lea whakatonga anyway, so I'm not going to be judging. But and then Milika said, oh, that's how they say it in the Nuas. So he's from the. So we said it that way. Yeah, but you're fabulous. You're fabulous.
Yeah, right.
Some of those scenes, man, just incredible. And we loved it. Well, okay, let's go with Cecilia. What about you with your family and anything that you're a bit nervous about?
My family was really they really enjoyed it. They're really supportive. My kids are just watching it like little fanatics. Sometimes I come down in the morning and they're like already watching the series on TV. So yeah, everyone was very supportive. My mom, my sisters, my partner, people outside of my bubble, even some aunties in America that were watching it over there and sharing it. So yeah, everybody that I know in my family have been really supportive of what I've been doing and just absolutely love the series.
And I just want to acknowledge you too for the translations and the work that you did in the pilot as our cultural advisor. Man, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did with you. And that whole thing, you and I had those conversations around the talawhekao and the language, Vela, you know, and I really wanted to use that metaphoric language, you know, the hiliaki, so that, you know, we can take you to that world that is of the talawhekao and that beautiful prose and stuff. So I just want to acknowledge you, Vela, for the work that she did there.
Definitely. I also want to acknowledge Hans Wawai too with this work. I can always call on Hans too for work, Malo or bro. But definitely Cecilia and definitely the language for the talawhekao. I mean, how Tongan language sounds Shakespearean on screen. It's just, it's just amazing. Like, I mean, you know, looked at the land, looked at the sea, but also just the way Albert says the line too is like it comes with mana. It comes with it just comes with so much that it carries through. Yes, Celia, that Malo, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, Malo, Celia.
Yeah. Bate, what about you?
Yeah, that was one of the things is saying those lines. The one you guys were just discussing. I remember there were times that I said it and then I kind of said it, but kind of pronouncing the T as, you know, in Tonga we go D. Yeah. But then I think I said something, then I got told you need to use the D, not the T, as like saying like a palangi. So that was one of the things I was nervous. But then going back to Bella always remind me, slow it down. With those lines, you need to just slow it down. So that was one of the things that I was worried, did I listen to Bella with this direction or would it come out differently on the screen? But I suppose it came out the way that Milika corrected me to and the way Bella directed me to say it. So yeah, that's one of the things that I was really nervous it wouldn't come out. But then I remember talking to Cecilia just after the screening, and then she seemed happy with how I said it, and it's the way that she wanted it to be said. So yeah. Malo.
What if I say I don't want to jinx it, but
is it working now?
It's working.
Welcome man, leave my thing alone. Yeah, my family's been massively watching it. Like my dad's seen it at least like 20 times so far. Like the whole series. And I think the thing I was most nervous about was the whole character thing, because as everyone knows, I like to joke around and I'm not really that serious. But seeing Ben on screen, my parents were like, "Oh yeah, you can be a bit serious." And yeah, they loved the whole change, and yeah, they loved the Tongan language as well. Yeah, but everyone that I've talked to so far, they've seen it at least twice now. So
I got to say, I love the video of your mum and your nana watching. And they're going, oh yeah, and I think you go, did you say something like, oh, what do you think? They go, oh, you look nice, or
because it's the first time my nana's ever seen me perform, so I was like, naha eti, I was like, naha eti, and she was like, nagetalavo, and I was like, oh, iyo, benaha eti, and she's like, iyo nagetalavo, and I was like, oh, okay. So was the acting good, or they loved it? Yeah, they loved it.
That's so cool. And I just want to say that, Vala and I call you the Tongan Samuel L. Jackson. You don't like that, but I think it's such an apt description of you, your looks, your beautiful face on screen, and the way that you just those looks. Yeah. It was awesome. So
I have a lot of love for Sea because he was my student when he came into people back in those days. Also, I chased Sea for the character because I know everybody gets an opportunity. I believe so anyway, but I know the way Sea holds the camera. I don't know. I think every one of you guys realize that the camera is there, and you put up your matarele like, "Ooh, the camera's there." I'm gonna bring it on. But and that goes for all of you. It's wonderful that the camera is sitting there watching you and tell you without saying words. It's through your eyes or your look. Yeah, that barbecue scene always gets me, Sarah, because you held the camera for a long time before you say your lines. Like, I get Bobby, but you just held it. You know it, and then you turned your son and say, "No disrespect, about been doing this for the family." Or the line you say, "Save," but it's like, you know what I mean? It's all those. It's beautiful, and it's beautiful to see you where you are now, and carry on.
Yeah, I love it. I think one of my favorite lines is, "It's crazy." I think it's real.
We were cracking up because during the filming, we're like taking the whole scene seriously, and then when it came up on screen, and then I said it and everyone laughed, I was like, oh, it's still a joke. Like,
I know. It was so funny when everyone was watching it and they reacted to it, and you're like, oh wow, it was awesome. I mean, and that's a nice segue into the Whaito'o to Ailini. Tell us a bit about what's your response and what's happened in your family, and if you were nervous, because you and I had some conversations prior to it around what the Whaito'o would be like. What were your reactions?
I think I was nervous. So I think on our first screening when we watched it, I was just thinking like, because I know that a Whaito'o or a healer is usually someone old, and I just wanted to make sure that I was able, firstly, that the language and the way I said it was, I could always just hear my dad when I used to do Bible readings. He would always say "lau ke toka" to make sure that like it's unfolded properly, and knowing that the Whaito'o, her part in Brutal Lives was to unfold the story to the family. My mom, she didn't even know it was me. When I invited her to the screening, she had to go home, and then my family had to show her just on the phone. Then she was able to see that it was me. And she, when I invited her to come, I didn't say that I was part of it. I just said, "Oh, hey, look, come, we'll go watch this Tongan web series that's on." And then when she went, at the end, she was just like, "Oh, okay, we'll go home." And then it wasn't until it came out on CocoNet and my family were able to watch it, then she watched it, and she was just, I think she was more proud at the fact that this is like my first ever screening, and I was able to speak Tongan, and she thought it was proper Tongan too. So thank you, Cecilia, for helping me. Thank you, Mila, for helping me.
Yeah, Marlo.
For someone first time on screen, and just we didn't get it in rehearsals, but when the camera is like, once again, these Tongans been, you guys just know when to turn it on, and like just the way you held played the Whaito'o, but the way you held the space, and and the way the camera moves up, you carry your whole school with you, your whole we were nervous in the beginning, yes, but it was just the way you held the space, you held those words was just phenomenal work, because every time I was showing the people, they keep coming back saying, I haven't seen her, who is she? Yeah, you know what I mean? And my son will pop out and go, that's my drama teacher. That's my drama teacher. You know what I mean? But it was just the way you held the space. You knew, it's just wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Blew me away. I remember we were watching it, and we were watching it back, and oh my gosh, goosebumps coming on, that first time, and Bella and I were like, oh wow, that's so powerful. You just were fantastic. And you wouldn't have known that was your first time, honestly. You were just incredible. So
I knew it was the first time because we did 20 takes or something.
You sure what's from my side?
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Don't worry, I've got some stories about Vala too.
Just kidding.
I'll
Just
tell
jokes.
those later.
Just jokes.
Just jokes, right? We might just mute him. Jason, what about for you and the family?
Yeah, no, definitely good. There's still members. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Yes. Can you hear us? Oh my gosh, the Talipakal
okay.
is alive and well tonight.
Yeah, you guys are looking a bit free. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, Talipakal, stop talking. Yeah, no, I was just going to say that there's still a few members of the family to watch, but those that have watched it definitely have been sending in their praise, and obviously straight after the praise, all the mocking comes. That's how I know that they actually did like it. So yeah, but it was definitely fun times. I think on the night, I had some cousins and friends, and we were trying to we had technical difficulties trying to watch it on the night, and it dropped, and so it almost got to the point because they said to me that I'd have to perform the whole series to them, because they'd driven all the way to our house just to watch it, and they weren't going to leave. But
you could have done it too.
Yeah, I would have just done all of my scenes, but but like Cecilia, yeah, a few of them have been watching it multiple times and making memes and sending it to me, and having a good old time. But yeah, I'm glad that they're enjoying it, especially relatives overseas.
Yeah, awesome. Vala, what about you? What's your response? And were you nervous at all? Just.
To be honest, I wasn't nervous. You know that, son. I keep saying to ourselves, we got this, because my job is to disturb the. What I was a little nervous about, because it's not my culture. You know what I mean? It's not, I got the fuck up, but because the honesty of serving the core of the story and serving the purpose of the story and working with the actors, I just know that we got something special that we're able to produce, to make, and working with you wonderful actors. I just also want to shout out to Alengi Tufunga, who played Jimmy. It's just I mean, when I saw he came in, I think we went for a burger one night. I haven't cast the character yet. We went out for a burger, and then he took his hoodie off, and like I saw his hair, and I was going, what are you doing at this time? Anyway, I want to shout out to Alengi Tufunga, Stacey Leilua, who brought played Jasmine, brought the depth, the emotional, Michael Goloi. How cool is Michael Goloi with his sunglasses? It's like
way cool. Super cool.
Yes, man one, man two. Sam Walker, these wonderful people, Kevin Caruso,
Albert Martini.
Albert Martini, big offer, mafana to Albert for the boxing at the beginning, the skills and just the intensity.
Deborah,
another school teacher who played the young Jasmine. Just these wonderful people, who came and support, who support this whole energy thing and everybody else. But it's been the feedback has been, I'm not looking for feedback, but I just want to, It's big up to all of us because it takes a whole village to get it done. Without you guys, there's no, there's no me or there's no, there's no series anyway. Something like that.
Hang on, did you say without you, there's no series?
No, without you, there is no series.
Oh, funny guy. Ashley Fido as well. We want to Fido. We want to, say to her she was Lupe's opponent in the also Johnny Angel, the referee. And just and our stunt crew. All
Johnny Light,
Sean, Dawson. Shane Dawson. Corey, Stephen.
And a huge shout out to Grant McKinnon, who's the DOP, because it was the discussion myself and Sandra about we get an opportunity because how long for us to get this over the line? We get one shot of this. Let's make it the best as we can be. And there was a lot of preparation behind the scene before we even come to the table to the actors. So Grant McKinnon, him and his team, what an amazing how we saw the character, and of course the man himself, the invisible ninja Joe Fulau.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. I mean, we myself and Sandra and Michael Bennett was writing it as we're scrolling through. Who can we get to play Soane? Who can we get to play Soane? So Joe Fulau, with the experience, everything that he's done in the big feature films, he brought it. He brought it. I didn't have to, as you know, I didn't have to direct him much in terms of what he's going to offer. Because he brought the offer to Brutal Lives Mo'ui Faingata'a with heart and love. But the question is, has anybody seen Joe Fulau?
He's in America.
Where's Joe?
Where's Joe? Joe couldn't join us. Joe's got a really busy job down the line. And unfortunately, there's short staff and they wasn't able to join us. But we just want to totally acknowledge Joe Fulau. For Soane, man. Incredible. We are blessed. Just a couple of more questions. We were going to finish at 9, but people have been just sending lots of questions and are watching. So
let's go.
Let's do it.
Maybe 2,
Yeah, the two of them that are watching are really busy tonight with all of their questions. But question for you, Ailini, this from Suli. Do you think that the drama curriculum prepares our students to further their passion for drama? And would you take the BL experience into that classroom? I mean, what do you think about that?
Good question.
Well, definitely at Manurewa High School, we've kind of moved from the old normal and made our new normal, where we introduce like project base. And what's really cool about that is that we are now culturally sustained at Manurewa High School. So more of our Pacific stories are coming out, especially in devised. And also we're using, what do you call it? The talanoa, the foreplay in our class plays now. I've also offered it to our English department. So I think definitely at high school, and I think just looking more into screen as well, because we're teaching them a lot about theatre, but we're missing the screen side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I just jump in here, please? Go.
You haven't talked much.
No, I'm just saying that the theatre is the most important part of because that's the training ground as an actor, and it must be fueled with everything you got to transition, because most of these wonderful actors started in the theatre, and what they brought to the screen, you know what I mean, we magnify that by 100 times. So the theatre is very, very important. But for us to get an opportunity to be able to tell this story on this platform with this amount of village to help us go, that should be the goal for the kids. And we also had one teacher who posted up. She showed this to her intermediate school.
Yes.
So you know what I mean. So it's an inspiration for those kids to come up with their stories. We are full of stories. We got so many stories, but to be able to tell it and on this level, it's always been the challenge. So I thought.
Thank you, Bella.
I'll jump out again.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Eileen. Hans, we got a question for you. This is a cool one. It's from Taylor Tutawa. How did you prepare for that scene when you're standing in the rain, which is one of my favorites? That shot of you with the water on your head, that extreme close up, man. And then before the Faingata'a scene, did it spook you out in a spiritual sense? But also, how did you prepare for that? Because going from that scene, then with the Faingata'a, a lot of people talk about that they were kind of spooked by that, and a lot of people could relate to it, had been through experiences like it. How did you prepare for it, and how did you feel it? How find it?
Yeah, it was really, I guess, I always use this word, but it's heavy, really heavy, especially for Tomasi. Tomasi and what he goes through, and it's interesting because when I try and explain Tomasi to my friends who haven't seen it, I say that he's sick, but then it's not until I say that he's pukete te holo, and that's when they okay, it really sinks in for them, and that's where they kind of spooked out by it. So I guess, yeah, in terms of preparation, I was grateful to have the art department create that really beautiful environment for me to kind of sink into, as well as the actors that I was with, especially for that Faingata'a scene with Lini, and just the way she delivered those lines, it was really hitting me, and it was really setting the mood, especially for me, and being in that trance that I was in. Yeah, oh man, it was interesting. It was interesting. But then cool to just jump back out. As soon as I can jump back out of it, refresh, breathe, and then just realize, yeah, cool, I'm back to whatever more. And really came out really beautifully in the series as well. So congratulations. But yeah,
that's good. It's a little bit hard. I think Hans, is a little bit of crackle or something going on with your sound at the moment, but we heard most of that there. That was awesome. I also feel, Hans, because I've seen a lot of your work since we've done the Messiah, and you've been in lots of different things, and you're phenomenal, and what you bring. And what I really liked about this one for you was that you didn't have your hair out. There was just that one scene where you had your hair out in there, but otherwise you had your hair tied back.
Yeah.
And I thought what was really cool was we saw a different side to
That's
you
right.
we don't normally see in some of the roles that you played, and you were beautiful. You just were beautiful. Hey, Bella.
That's right. I have this conversation with Hans, and remember that day, Hans, about the costume, the wardrobe, when he came out to show me what you're going to wear, and you look like you're on a what do you call a model on the catwalk, and I said to Hans, where will Tomasi find time to make himself look good? So I just went and found something. So it's a collaboration, and just
shout out to wardrobe. Shout out to wardrobe.
Just,
to the seven shirt.
I think it, and this goes for the actors too. We just talked us, the where you are with your eyes, where you are with the story, especially for that scene too, because you need to go. But how do you, without acting, you've been possessed. You have to go through, your eyes will tell the story. That's like, yeah, that raining scene is just like, and the thing about this, guys, this story is going to live for forever on screen. What we see forever and ever. So it's amazing. You're going to show your kids, your grandkids, and like, this is just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. And then Isaiah, there's a question for you around. A lot of people found you quite funny. Like we talked a little bit about that before, but even that, in that scene when you pull up and you go, oh, what's wrong with Tomasi? And then they say, and you go, what? The witch? Where are you going to the witch doctor? But even in the Faingata'a scene, when you do that whole thing, I mean, before that with Joe, and you go, what? I've been here. Where have you been? I've been looking after the family and all that. How did you feel in terms of your character? And because you kind of bummed him out quite a few times, in sense, but that was real because he wasn't around. And then your kind of comedic timing. How did you find all of that with the script and with your roles?
I was pretty thankful to have an awesome script to work with in the first place. But besides that, yeah, it's kind of weird trying to be serious, but then you end up being funny anyway. And I think in the Faito'o scene, like I said before, it was quite a somber scene, like quite serious. And it was only until we saw the reactions from the people that I clicked that it was like, oh yeah, at least there's some comedy in there to break it up. But as for Ben, the character, he's there's a lot I can relate to him, like being the oldest in my family, you know, being Tongan. And the thing that I found most challenging was the talking back to your dad part, because I would never ever do that.
No,
to
no,
my dad.
no.
Like you know, and it was just I took inspiration from like people that I know, like my younger siblings talking back to my dad, that sort of thing. And yeah, and just trying to find those small moments, like yeah, it felt. I mean, in a way, it felt kind of good to actually bum him out. But then the Tongan in me is like, shut up, like yeah. So yeah, it was quite a buzzy experience having to play that character. And as for the comedic timing, that's just years of playing,
natural, yeah.
years of playing the same character, like same funny comedy role, like cast role or whatever it is, and yeah, so yeah, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Sane, I want to ask you this question, because following on from what Isaiah said, you would never answer your father back like that or talk to your father. Well, there's no way that a lot of us would punch our fathers, you know, in that scene, or, you know, but I know that it has happened, maybe, you know, when the tensions are really strong and stuff. But how did you find that scene? Because just maybe what the reaction would have been about that.
Funny thing, because no one's messaged me about that. No one has like raised concerns about that particular scene, that particular moment. So in saying that, I guess everyone kind of felt that it could have happened. It's possible that that moment happened. And so yeah, when I go back to it, I'm like, it was very intense. And as you can see, he comes into her territory. She's training. She's, you know, she's doing her thing. And so when he's coming up and he's like, oh, I'm your dad, like, you know, the last thing that she wants to hear after training for how long? For me, I don't think, I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying, I don't blame her for punching him, Lupe's character, for doing that in that sense. So but no one's called me out on that. Surprisingly.
No one wants to mess with you after they saw your boxing match.
Me now.
But as men, you know this, Sandra, we're creating a drama. You have to have, without conflict, there's no drama. Without, you know what I mean? I'm not making a documentary. Yes, I truly understand it. As we shouldn't treat our parents. I would never step that line with my father. But because there's a drama and conflict, we need to make this decision and say, we need to make this character like this. So I should not get off easily. No. You know what I mean? We need to keep poking at him left, right, and center to make him feel uncomfortable. Because I've seen some of the comments say, oh, they shouldn't talk like that to the parents. Of course, in real life, we would never disrespect, But because it's a drama, we have to design it in such a way to give it like form, like, oh my gosh. Even when we're shooting it that day, you know, we have to reshoot it again because how it was being treated. Even, you know, like it was like intense, uncomfortable, but we have to deliver. For the
I agree with what you're saying too. Like, we have to dramatize these things, and I'm not saying like people can say, oh, you can't talk like that to your elders and stuff.
No, you don't.
But realistically, some of us do, or some moments like that have actually happened.
Yep.
So you can't really beat around the bush and say, oh, you can't do that. But I know from personal experience, from family members, from friends, that moments like that have actually happened.
Yep. Exactly. And that's why we've had a lot of people come up to us afterwards and say, oh my gosh, that, you know, that relationship is like me and my dad, or I could really relate to the, you know, the strained relationship or different aspects of it. So we know that while we are, you know, have whakaapapa, we also know that the reality of some of these things really hard, and maybe in a New Zealand context as well, where you aren't, just with the culture and trying to understand things. So there's lots of different things behind it. But what has come through loud and clear is that people have loved hearing the language, seeing the aspects of the culture. I've seen some people who go, can you tell me why tell me about the hair cutting? Why did they cut the hair? Non-Tongans, just to understand that. And Tongan said, oh my gosh, the whaito'o scene, I really related to that. This has happened to me, the hair cutting and just the relationship. So that's always been a really big win for me, that, it feels authentic. You see Tongans, you hear the language. And that leads us to the next question, because I'm going to start to wrap this up, guys. But the big question is, at the moment,
we're
series 2. What are we going to do next?
That's series 10. Can I give a shout out to Solavuna?
Oh yes,
the Tongan composer with the wonderful song Mohe Mohe, and also the wonderful song at the end credit, and also Tausani Achong, the composer. Wonderful work. It's so many people that we can't forget. So yeah.
No, you're right. And then Jesse Choi, our editor, our whole production crew, the crew that helped us to make it, the whole village,
and Lisa Tauma, who's the only one who backed us from the beginning.
From Tiki Lounge.
Hello.
New Zealand
funding.
Lots of big thank yous. I want to just kind of start to wrap it up, guys. So I want to ask you a little bit more, just one last question. Anything that you want to say about what you're working on, or what Brutal Lives was, or why you felt it was really good? What's your last comment as we get ready to close this up? So let's start with you, Pate.
I have my family asking me that same question, whether is there a second series, and I said, well, yeah, that depends.
Yeah.
So a lot of my families and friends ask me, even family from overseas, asking me that same thing. So on my reply, it depends if we get funding. So I'm really looking forward to season 2, or like Bella said, season 10. Yeah, but that depends on the money. In terms of work, I got a few things on the pipeline, but it's not kind of confirmed yet. But yeah, we'll wait and see what's the outcome on season 2 of Brutal Lives. Malo abit.
Yeah. And just, so we are looking to get funding because we want to make this. Others have said to us, will you make a film about it? You know what? We don't want to limit ourselves, but we're just going to try and, see what happens. We don't know yet, but we will definitely keep everyone posted about it. It took 2 years to get to this point. We don't want it to take that long for the next one, but we will keep everyone posted around what the next steps are. Jace, what about you?
Yeah, definitely keen for season 2. Looking forward to season 2, the return of Salesi. He probably has a lot of
more dancing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of secrets in the family that will help for Soani's development.
So Salesi come back as a young Salesi.
Awesome. Yeah, keen. But I think at the moment, kind of sort of semi-happy about the current lockdown, because it helps me I'm trying to refine a script for a Tongan play that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm working on that, and then hoping to get that out. But I'm doing a kids show in the October school holidays. So yeah, hopefully that will still get to go ahead. We'll see how it goes. But
nice.
Yeah, staying busy, hustling, and just staying out of trouble. Pretty much.
Well, there's not a lot we can do too in lockdown if you're in office, so that's that always helps as well. Ailini, what about you?
No, just want to encourage everyone to keep watching, keep sharing. Looking forward to a season 2 to 10 or 20. And Vela, I'm sure the healer is needed somewhere in there. Please please, Rocky, talk to your dad about me some more if you can. And I just want to acknowledge the actors as well, especially you, Cecilia, Hans, and Joe and Isaiah, because we were in that small room together. Thank you for guiding me through the process. Thank you, Vela, for not firing me on our first rehearsal. Yeah, you know, I told you I was going to go home, do my homework, learn my lines. But thank you, and yes, keep sharing. And what I'm working on at school at the moment is the Inky Pinky Ponky play by Leki and Amanaki, our level 2 drama class. That's what we're working on at the moment. So hopefully COVID, you know, just calms down a bit, because I think our kids, especially in South Auckland, quite special. Yeah. So thank you, family. Yeah, it's a Tongan one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna claim his Tongan side.
Oh, Cecilia, what about you?
Oh, is this me?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Same old. Just at home with my kids, trying to get their homeschooling done. You know, that everyday thing that happens, and just our puka tonga work. We, because of COVID, we've now transitioned into our online classes. So just taking our kids once a week, every Friday night with our children. But other than that, just being a mum at home, trying to be a good mum at home with everybody being at home. But yeah,
hard work.
Looking forward to season 2 or as many seasons. But you know, if you want more, you gotta ask for some more. So everybody watching, put it out in the comments. We want more, some more, and you know, hopefully someone. I'm gonna put it out in the universe like we did ice blocks and everything else. Putting it out there in the universe, because the universe always listens to what I ask for. But yeah, want some more, ask for it. It's not going to be far away. Yes, just thank you again to Vela and Sandra, everybody else, cast, crew. It was such an awesome experience, not just having, you know, Tongan cast members, but also, you know, people that were Tongan that were working in production. Such an awesome atmosphere to be around. But yeah, the world's out there for us, and all we got to do is grab it. Money will come later, but you know, we were so awesome. They're gonna have to do it for us. But yes, thank you, my love.
Ooh. I think you're on mute, Sandra.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hans, what about you, Hans?
Yes, excited for Brutal Lives 2. That'll be awesome. Brutal Lives 2 was such so exciting to film. The food was amazing. I made it halfway to shooting one time because I ran out of gas, and Brutal Lives filled up my gas. So thank you.
I remember that. Wow, Hans is running late because his car has run out of petrol.
I'll make it to the gas station. I'll put that on the middle. Thank you, Brutal Lives. So yes, I'm excited for more Brutal Lives. The family's been loving it. Everyone's been wondering why isn't there more?
Yeah, that's a good question.
With massive ideas like this, there's only so much you can fit into small brackets of money. So, you know, when we do have more opportunities to bring out more stories along, you know, with the same language and everything that we're already bought, then yes, that's us totally for it. But yes, as far as me, I've got a chicken show. For those that don't know, I'm also a puppeteer. So I've got a chicken show coming up with Auckland Theatre Company called Brutal Lives Mo'ui Faingata'a. Myself and Richard Chadwick. We'll be doing 9 shows as part of the Back to the Boards festival, which ATC is running. So come through if you're around for that, down at the ATC Waterfront Theatre. I think tickets are live already, but depending on those COVID-3 stuff, we'll have to see for that. And yeah, cool. Thanks everyone. Thanks all the cast, crew, everyone that's been watching, family, friends. Hello, malo.
Malo.
Um,
And Isaiah.
Before I forget, I'm still waiting for my ice block, Celia. So if you can just put it back out into the universe.
Put it back out. Put it back out.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing for me whilst working on Brutal Lives was actually getting to speak my mother tongue, which is something that rarely happens in this industry. Like getting to share stories with your own language, your own music, that sort of thing, and to do it on screen as well. Which was a big accomplishment. So big ups to you, Sandra, and to Vela for bringing us on board as well. At the moment, I'm not. I always go through a phase of putting my arts on the side and working on my 9 to 5. And my 9 to 5 at the moment is working for the Electoral Commission. So if you haven't enrolled, just a harmless.
Hey, you got it in there. You got it in.
Just want to stick it in there. Thanks, guys. Yeah, but like so many of the others have already said, it was such an amazing experience. You know, not only working with fellow Tongans on the cast, but you know, within the background as well. And always a pleasure working with Vela, who lets me do whatever I want and then tells me off later. But yeah, I'm looking forward. Most of my family's always asking questions about season 2 as well. So if you want more, yeah, give us some more.
That's so true. That's a good point too, eh? Let New Zealand On Air know that you really like the series, that you would like to see more of this, and even through the Brutal Lives Facebook page, and we can pass that on. That would be awesome, because that's the only way we're going to be able to, you know, get this. But Vela, just you know, my friend, you are awesome. You were so fantastic in this series right from the beginning. The fact that you were open to it being Tongan. But because you knew it was you had an idea in your mind. Even the fact that actually Lupe was meant to be a guy, was meant to be the son. And I said, are you open to it being the daughter? Because I think we need some strong, you know, role models and strong, you know, characters there. And you were open to that. And I just love your direction, your vision for Brutal Lives, your truth for South Auckland, and for what you know. And you always speak your truth. You're so bold, and I just think you're amazing. And it was awesome to work with you, Vela. And I just want to, you know, if you've got any last comments that you would like to make before we wrap it up.
Malo, Sandra, thank you for that. It's like I said, it's a collaboration between myself and yourself. There's a lot of respect in that space, for our creative space, and you know, and also we got the same shopping love for shoes. That's another story. But
another story, yeah.
But like you know, you know, everyone's wants season 2. We have to, the story, we have to go, I think, to another world. You know what I mean? The production have to go up. The reason we need, we got all the stories. The reason we need the money is because of the production value of working to get this story, because we can get a camera in 2 weeks' time and go run around and film it, right? But because we have to treat this with respect and mana, we have to have the backing of the village, of the money to make it, to offer it. Because what we're doing, I believe we're in the kitchen, we're the chefs, we had to make it, cook it, design and make it, and then we offer it to the people. And that takes a little bit of time. Not too long, because everybody will grow old, right? But we and it's also is an energy. It takes a lot of energy, eh? Because the writing, the thinking, you know, myself and Sandra, 1 o'clock in the morning, we were still talking. We're still, you know, to get this over, to get this over. Even on the day of the shooting, as you know, things change in there. Yeah. But the respect, the truth, and the honesty of holding on to what's on the page, and that's the help with the actors. It takes, you know, yes, I want a second season too, but also I have bigger vision for my producer always go, my vision is always like this. So when I come to talk to my producer and the budget, it comes like this. It goes like that. It goes like this. It goes like that. Like that. Because, straight away, I said, I can see it as I can see it as, to me, I can see this as a huge film. I can see it. I can see it because it's in when Soane says, go back to the ocean. I see us going back, ancient Tonga. I see us going back to the ocean. I see us, these things just kind of like we need to be a bit more brave, a bit more. And and thank you, Sandra, for trusting my brain. Because sometimes, guys, I've always had that thing of being fearless, but without sometimes without thinking. You know what I mean? But that's just the way I usually run, and then ouch! Oh gosh, I didn't know that was there. But that's just part of the process, and part of the way I kind of work out. I just want to acknowledge, shout out to Malika. Shout out to Bowles, my family. There's a lot behind us. We cannot forget that. We are the soldiers fighting the battle in the front, but there's a lot that comes with it, and that's all of us here together. That energy, because when we get these right, the second season should be like boom. It'll be great. But we need to think big and go ahead. But to you, Sandra, thank you, Marlo, man. That's such like we said in the beginning, this should not work, but somehow we kind of like, maybe because you're bigger than me and you're always bullying me around, so kind of like and
don't go longer, mate. That's all I'm saying.
and all our wonderful supporters out there, families and whānaus, thank you very much. You wonderful actors, you and your family. Thank you for your energy, your kindness, your work, your sweat, your contribution for Brutal Lives Mo'ui Faingata'a. From the Pacific, we will rise.
Malo Bella. Jason Manomo'a, Ailini Manomo'a, Alatini, Sani or Eli Sani by Pulu Green, Hans by Jackson, Cecilia Pusiaki Tatuila, Isaiah Latu, Albert Rounds, Vela Manasote, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been awesome chatting with you guys. Feel like we're back on set again. I wish you all the best in all the work that you do, but don't go anywhere because we are going to try and come back and with season 2 to 10. But ofalahi atu and malo apito, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for your questions tonight. We really loved it. And go series 2. Malo. Okay.
Malo.
Bye.
Bye.